Hi guys. Well, I come to you from our garden in California. I'm Stephen Suntup and I represent overseas flooring factories, everything to do with hardwood flooring, which I've been in the industry now 32 years. And I've been pushing my products in a couple of years here in America and looking for distributors and people who are interested in maybe innovating and innovation change. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about our products that I'm representing. We know today that floating floors are a big thing. SPCs are floating, vinyls are floating, laminates are floating. So many floors, engineered click, are floating. You can't float the tongue and groove solid though, but with our product you can. So everything's gone floating. One of the advantages of floating, yes, we all like a fixed floor, but there's a big advantage to a floating floor, and the big advantage is that you can put a 6mm polyplastic over that concrete slab, because that's where all the problems lie, is on the concrete. So what happens, you get a slight humidity change under the floorboard, and it only takes 2 percentage points, 2 to 4 percentage points of a humidity change under that floorboard, and you've got a cupped floor. And once you've got a cupped floor, you're possibly looking at a replacement, pulling it out. It's a nightmare. Who's responsible? Normally the installer will get the responsibility put on his shoulders. So with the Elastalon, it's what it does, it's a series of closed cell mats. Like I said, here's the mat. I'll just peel back a little bit for you here. And you can see I don't like the word peel and sticks. I'd like to say peel and stuck. Because once you use this product, it's stuck for life. You can see on the mat, there's those glass fiber netting that ensures that the adhesive remains on the mat if there's any tension during the climatic changes. So this product does form part of the NWFA guidelines, and it's been on the market 26 years, sold through 30 countries. So if you've got a solid hardwood floor like this one, and you'll see there's no glue in the tongue and groove, but the floor is being held together, and that's because the adhesive on this mat is a permanent bond adhesive. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines on this floor. There's some wide boards, narrow boards. It's a multi-width floor, and now we're going to stick this section down. So all I'm going to do, I'll put my blue tape, keep everything together, and just pull it and roll. Simple as that. And as I'm doing this, so the floor is being stuck down for life. Pull it and roll. Right, that's it. Now I can just put a bit of pressure. Stuck for life. There you go, on Elastalon. There's no temporary sticks. Once this is stuck, it's stuck for life. It's a permanent bond. So to work with the hardwood floor in this movement, you need to have a permanent bond. So with this product, because it's floating, now you can put your polyplastic, install your floor over concrete, on grade or below grade. And because of the polyplastic, you're not going to have moisture issues because the poly has a 0 perm rating. So I'm just going to run through a couple of the benefits. So Elastalon creates a floating floor using no glue in the tongue and groove at all. So in conjunction with a 6mm polyplastic, then what happens is you can't have moisture cupping. Floating floors can't pressure cup. They may overexpand for whatever reason. Maybe the HVAC went off, or there was an extra humid season, or the acclimation wasn't done correctly. So if it does overexpand, it's simply I'll use a piece of paper, it will bulge up like that, and once you cut the flooring back at the expansion joints on the perimeter, it falls flat, no damage. And that's a small repair compared to having a pressure cup floor where you may have to start replacing floors. So another huge advantage is, in high rise, there's a lot of gypcrete being used. So you can't glue to gypcrete, you can't nail to gypcrete. And you might have a customer who looks at a wooden floor and it's a solid hardwood tongue and groove floor, and their salesman would advise the only way you can install this floor over gypcrete is to put a 3/4 ply subfloor. And if you do that, you're now raising that floor above the other finished floor levels, and this is a problem. So with the Elastalon system, because it's floating, you can go directly over gypcrete, so your customer can have the floor they want. And it also has all the sound advantages. It's tested IIC 62 and STC 54 for sound. No glue in the tongue and groove is very important, because you know you can glue an engineered floor down. Glue it together using glue in the tongue and groove. But that's a bit of a shortcut in a way, even though it's acceptable by the standard. It's a bit of a shortcut. However, if you need to do a repair, how are you going to change that board? It's a nightmare to change a board in a repair or lace floors in and out if you have to with a glue together floor. So because there's no glue in the tongue and groove, you can lace in and out, you can change a board, everything, no problem whatsoever. And as I said, it does form part of the NWF guidelines. If you're a DIY, you've got customers that want to DIY their own floor, it's very difficult for them to DIY using paint on moisture barriers, adhesives. It's too technical for the man in the street or the residential homeowner. So I've got a lady in Florida who recently installed all her floors by herself. She's 62 years old, DIY, solid hardwood DIY on Elastlon, no problem. If you want, I'll even give you her number. You have a chat to her. Another great advantage, it's VOC free. VOCs are quite important these days, and there's been a lot of problems in the past with VOCs. So our mat is VOC free. And one very important thing, this is the original invention of this method of installation. If you see any other method in the whole world today, it's a copy of the method of Elastlon. So that's what I thought I'd bring to you today, is my Elastlon product. I've got other products, which is my hardwood sports flooring, which I'm going to use for another day. It's square edged and comes in 7 foot long planks, and I'll push this plank along to show you. It's a 7 foot plank, and it's 100% dead straight. So it can be used in home gyms with our 10mm Elastlon mat. So you can offer your customer a home gym installed in 1 day, because normally a home gym can take 7 to 10 days. With this system, 1 day you're in and out for a home gym. And lastly, which I also do, is I found along my travels, I've traveled through 27 states trying to connect with people on my products, and I've done it all by road, by car. I'm in California right now, and I've been all the way to New York by road to see people. Florida, Texas, Missouri, Washington, Oregon, you name it, I've done it. And I've probably knocked on your door, and because I couldn't get an appointment, but I'm keeping on knocking. So on my travels, I found something very special. It's an engineered tongue and groove floor, square edged, and I come from South Africa, Oregon pine as we call it, or Douglas fir. We've got floors in South Africa that are beautifully vertical grain, quarter sawn Douglas fir floors, many of them over 100 years old. And this was where flooring really started, with this kind of flooring. Yes, it started in planks nailed down, but Douglas fir quarter sawn was a very important part of our flooring, I'm sure here in America as well. So I found something very special which you don't see every day. And there's inventory right now here in the United States for, you want 200 square foot, 50 square foot, 1,000 square foot, or 23,000 square foot. The inventory is right here, and it's a vertical grain, engineered, and I'm going to show you this floor, and it's square edged, unfinished. So let's get this closer. You can just have a look at the grains. It's tight grains. There you can see the construction of it and the tightness of the grains. So when I saw this, that being in the flooring industry 32 years, it really excited me. And I know the orange look, if you put a solvent or oil modified on that, it may go a bit orange. I know that look is a bit out, but if you put Invisible Protect water base on this floor will look like an unfinished oak color, which is the trend today. You can whitewash it if you want, you can grey wash it as well. So if you're interested in, maybe if you're an architect or a developer, designer, think about going a bit classical, you know, because all we've got today, we've got oak, we've got oak, we've got oak, and we've got oak. You can have it anything you want, any color you want, but it's all oak. So go a little bit classical. This is actually 2 boards. It might have looked like 1 board. That's how good the square edge is. So another look at it. Quarter sawn vertical grain Oregon. Guys, and then I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to do another video on my hardwood sports flooring another time, and my details are, are all in my below here. So have a look at contacting me. You want to see me, I'm on the way, I'm flying or I'm driving, and you want to do a Zoom presentation, I've got PowerPoints, I can do presentations with you and your team. I'd love to do that. And if you're a distributor out there, I know that I've seen distributors out there, I've seen the guys say, just landed 20 containers laminate, 20 containers. It's all very well landing 20 containers of a commodity. But if you can look at something like Elastalon and say we're making a difference to the industry because we can overcome so many problems with this, that's when I really take my hat off. So if you're a distributor out there, please contact me. Let me present to you and show you how we can make a difference. I'm prepared to work. I'm prepared to travel. I'm prepared to move to your side of the world for weeks on end, training and training and training. And all I'm saying is, let's stop floor failures over concrete, because that's where they all are. Let's stop these floor failures and let's do something. I'm not saying don't nail down, don't glue down. Of course, we respect that. It's part of wooden flooring today. But I'm saying there's another option, which is an Elastalon option of creating a floating floor with 0 glue in the tongue and groove. There it is again. Floating floor. And floating floors, because of the poly, do not fail. So I'm saying be safe and don't have failures, and let's take some pressure off the installer's shoulders, because when anything goes wrong, the inspectors will find the reason why it's the installer's fault. And probably it is, because there's a million different tests to do. But once you got a polyplastic, it's done. Right, I think I've rambled on enough, guys. So I'm here in my garden, in fact in my mother's garden, because I'm staying with my mother who's 90 years old right now, which is one of the reasons I came to America after a tragic loss in South Africa. I needed to be with family, and I'm here with my family, and I will do some more videos on my sports flooring a bit later. And that's it from me, Stephen Suntup. Contact me, signing out. Thanks for listening.